Be the right club. Be the right club today. Yes!
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about him?
That is better than most. Better than most!
Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up live show, presented as always by our friends at High Noon. Round one of the 2025 United States Open Championship, almost in the book. Still some guys out there on the golf course, but we had to cut into the Peacock coverage. We're not waiting until the end of the Peacock coverage. They took it off TV. Sorry, the show's starting early. The Carter brothers / Schuster brothers are here. Mr. TC, hello, how are you?
I'm great. Sally, I think we're like 2 hours into cock coverage. I had to wear just a shout out for my guy.
Podcast listeners, notorious big Eagles guy, massive since childhood, huge Eagles fan.
That is the voice of Neil Schuster. Hello, Neil.
Sally's greeting. Good evening. I've been a little MIA this week, been a busy one, but I'm fired up to be here. It's your father's U.S. Open, your grandfather's U.S. Open. I thought the course held up well.
Is it your grandfather's U.S. Open? I was reading on the X app that it's most definitely not.
It held up well. I'm ready to argue that point.
There was a TPC Oakmont joke in there. There was somebody that said they were going to make January 6th look like a cookout in revolt of this thing. That might have been ingested. I got a good laugh out of that one. But you're hearing the laughter as well of Mr. DJ Pie. Hello, Pie Man.
Greetings, guys. United States Open Week. Always fun to be with you. Fun to have one round in the books almost, right? We're almost there. And I think we got a little bit of everything that we were waiting for. Was it a big explosive car wreck of carnage? No, but that's why it's a 4-day golf tournament. People need to manage their expectations. I think Solly is how I'm feeling. But
that's what I read on the X app too. One guy as well.
We've got a big full day today, Cody, don't we? We got a full agenda that we are about to get through today. We are going to start. I want to ask you guys, I want to send the question to you guys. What's the story of the day? Of course, going to run down the top of the leaderboard. JJ Spaun, Thriston Lawrence, Siwoo Kim, Brooks Koepka, TC's guy Rasmus, Neargard, Peterson. Lots of rounds we're going to talk about there. We're going to talk a little Oakmont in general. Neil has prepared a nice little segment here, train wrecks of the day. Maybe not as big as some people would have liked, but I still think there were train wrecks out there. There's still carnage. We're going to rule out a couple guys. Of course, you can't win it on Thursday. TC, you know that. You can't win it on Thursday, but you can lose it. I'm going to demand that you guys give me a couple names of people who lost it today. Maybe take a little watch at the cut line. See what's going there. We'll give a little thumbs up, thumbs down. Who's making the cut? Who's not? See if we got any updated winner predictions. A lot of Scotty picks. Let's see if he's still hanging around on people's board. But Solly, where should we start, man? Where do you want to go first?
Any live show must start with a thanks to our friends at High Noon. I don't know if you guys have heard, but High Noon has a new non-carbonated vodka iced tea. They have 2 new flavors, exciting new flavors. That's in the Lake Pack. The green tea and half, alongside the classic original tea and peach flavors. The Lake Pack brings together real vodka, crisp iced tea, packed up for maximum flavor to bring wherever your day takes you. You can go to highnoonspirits.com to find a pack near you. High Noon, suns up. I'm going with lemon iced tea tonight. These go down the absolute smoothest, especially in the evening. Also, not a lot of conditions out there so far yet at Oakmont, but there was some sunshine out there. A lot of sunshine happens out on the golf course. When you're out on the golf course, you should be wearing Oars Alps sunscreen. It is very easy to use. You don't end up smelling like a pina colada. It's lightweight. It's not greasy or sticky. It doesn't leave that white cast residue all over your arm hair and your beard hair and all that stuff. It's simple, fast, easy to use. Most of the editions are travel friendly. You can keep it with you in your golf bag to reapply throughout the round or just throughout any day in general. There's great hands-free options. You don't want to get that stuff all over your hands. They got sprays, they got mist, they got sticks, all of that. Most men are not wearing enough sunscreen. It's degrading your health. Get checked by your dermatologist and wear Oars Alps sunscreen. Nobody wants to deal with skin cancer. The great options are available in SPF 30, 50, and 70. And the travel size SPF 50 is what I recommend for your golf bag. You can go to oarsalps.com and take the skin quiz. Also, you can buy Oars Alps directly off Amazon. It'll show up right at your doorstep very quickly. OarsAlps.com. Thank you to them. They make a great product.
That might be a recurring order. Get the Amazon recurring cart type of thing going with the sunscreen. Never going to forget to reorder it. It's a great idea, Sally.
Nobody wants to smell like a pina colada.
Nobody.
Ever.
Sometimes you do, but not really. It's not what I'm looking for on the golf course.
It's usually not a
If I do, I want it to be from drinking pina colada.
Exactly. Well, guys, I want to throw it around. Let's just talk a little story of the day here, round 1 of the United States Golf Open. Neil, I want to throw it to you first. First draft pick. What was your story of the day out there today?
I think the horses just coming out of the gates a little flat, man. They, kind of the top 3 you got, especially Scotty just looked flat, especially on the back 9. And I think similar story for Rory. He looked really sharp on the front 9. And then he's in the morning wave. And he just had a skanky finish. And then of course blew off media, which is becoming a kind of just a tradition unlike any other the past 3 months. So I don't know. I
3 months,
3 over, 4 over for Rory. But that was, and then Bryson 3 over, right? He came out and bogeyed the first hole, missed a short putt. He just didn't really seem, none of them seemed to get off the bus, Deej, Now with a lot of golf left, I don't think any of them, I don't think +4 is out of it. But I don't feel good about those 3. I believe the odds, Solly, are saying that Scotty is still the favorite to win at +3, which is very, very interesting. But he didn't look super sharp. I know he had
Rahm has passed it. Rahm is +550. Scotty is +650 as of 7:17 Eastern time here.
Okay, that sounds a little bit more believable for me.
What's the real lead?
I don't think that there is a real lead after a Thursday at the U.S. Open, right? I mean,
like 1 right now.
We're gonna set. Are you saying just the guys at 1, or what the score is going to be?
Yeah, like who do you think? What do you think the lead is after tomorrow? I guess.
I think it sticks around 3 under, 4 under. I think it kind of stays like right where it is, and I think it seemed like that's what happened with DJ in 2017. The one other thing I want to say before I pass the ball for an open.
A lot of stories of the day here, Neil. A lot of stories.
Well, is that
Scotty, Rahm, Bryson,
one more. Horses was my story. The reason I was thinking it was kind of your father's U.S. Open is you got some.
You gonna put your helmet on, Neil?
Some weirdos up at the top of the leaderboard, like classic. Come on, JJ Spaun. I love him. Cam Scattaboo, like bogey free 66. I love that shit. But Thriston Lawrence, like got some guys. You're like, my God, what am I watching here? Like that's kind of like what you're getting from an old school U.S. Open a little bit.
Which I think was
Oakmont,
in the models.
More like Belmont. Am I right?
For sure.
I think it was. I just got the helmet joke. Neil's horse riding helmet. I got it. I think that was in the models, right? Like we're kind of talking about that, almost like a more like a feature than a bug. I think in some of the previews was like, man, this place is interesting. Yeah. It's not going to be only thoroughbreds the whole time. It's going to allow some other interesting styles of play. Which you talk to me on like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm like, oh, that's great. And you talk to me on Thursday afternoon, and JJ Spawn's bogey free leading the golf tournament. I'm like, okay, well, we got 3 more. We got a lot of golf left. We got a lot of golf left, but I'm with you on the horses, Neil. I think that was the story of the day. Was a slow start, but not quite out of it. It's kind of an interesting place that I think a lot of those dudes are in. I would almost say I think Rory got off the bus. He only made it to like the first exit and was like, I started spinning out or something, car sick. I got to get out of here. Scotty was kind of the same thing, just a little bit of a slow bleed from him, but. So I'll throw it to you. What do you got? What's left on the board?
Yeah, sorry. Sepp Straka shooting 78. I don't know what's left on the board. Neil kind of got the whole thing.
I went an inch wide or a mile wide and an inch deep. You could dig. Come on, go drill for some oil somewhere.
You dig though. You got to call before you dig. What's that number?
4.
Julie. Call Julie.
No, I know what you're talking about for natural gas lines. TC like 4. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a homeowner, so I can't tell you.
My story of the day was going to be Scotty. I would definitely not say he played himself out of the golf tournament, but just a really missed opportunity to just go do what Scotty does, and he would have been right there, like just shooting even par round today. Just he was sloppy, but honestly, man, Brooks Koepka might be a decent sized story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a meme on this podcast for years of like how many times we've forgotten about this guy, and he just makes a rise up a major championship board on a Thursday, and you feel like an idiot. I'm not going to kick myself on this one. I mean, he had absolutely no form. Some books had him going off at like 90-1 ahead of this week. And I'm not like positive it's going to last for 72 holes, but there was a lot of signs of like US Open Brooks that are like, hey, 72 hole, here's the strategy. We'll add them all up at the end, see where we stand. I'm not going to get my hand caught in the cookie jar anywhere. I'm not going to make mistakes. He made a couple mistakes, but like that's just going to happen. It just was kind of more like the golf course imposed a couple of mistakes on him more than he like made errors. And that's a not an insignificant storyline from this Thursday.
No, I'm with you. I'm gonna not apologize for missing that one. I mean,
Yeah.
since Oak Hill, I don't think he's had a top 10 at a major, and not only that, it's like not even been close. Hasn't made a cut at any of the majors this year. No real signs of life. Even on Live coming in. I mean, T33, T17, T30, T18 in his last however many that is 4 Live starts. Like it's not been great, but there is something a little bit like the universe is okay. Tough driving place to hit the right sides of the greens, and Brooks is doing it is comforting in a way.
The only warning sign is he has been the 69th best American over the last 6 months, and I should have noted that part. That was a little too on brand.
I'm curious which Brooks we're gonna get. Sorry, TC. Is it gonna with an interview? Is it gonna be like, you know how fucking easy this is for me? Like, yeah, obviously. Or is it going to be, you know how hard I've been working? Like how I just been busting my ass. I can't decide. I'm going to bet on this is really easy for me, Brooks, this week.
I got a Porter just tweeted this out. Question. Everyone always points back to the comment at Beth page. 5, 10 players, whatever can win this week. Do you still think of yourself that way, or has it changed at all? Koepka. I mean, I don't talk about it. You guys talk about it. Question. It was your quote though, Koepka. It was. I said it once. Now everybody repeats it.
Yeah.
Well, he's off at 7:18 a.m. tomorrow morning, off of number 10. That's a pretty quick turnaround for that knee, and for someone who's had some health issues. I wonder if I'm very curious to see how he plays tomorrow.
Is his knee still bugging him?
Or you're just in a great place?
I'm not hurt. Why are you asking if I'm hurt, dog? You kidding me?
Well, you could get the Ed Reed. Like I'm putting my heart up. I'm hurt, dog. He might go that route. You never know.
Athletes don't get hurt, bro. Tough ones, not tough ones like
they get injured, Solly. They don't get hurt.
TC, anything else left on the board? Top stories of the day?
No, I think just lurkers. I think there's some guys lurking. Looking at it, you've got we can get into Rasmus, Neargard, Peterson, Sungjae, and Ben Griffin. Ryder Cup lock Ben Griffin at this point. But no, I think you've got Rahm, you've got Adam Scott, Big Shot Bob, Henley, Spieth, Morikawa. I don't know, all those guys kind of at even there. You got Hovland at 1 over. Like I think it's setting up. It's a setup day, and I think it's setting up to be. There's some dogs lining up to, maybe come for a play date tomorrow.
It wasn't like some of those first rounds of the Masters that we've got, or even US Opens have passed, where it's like, oh man, like 4 of the dudes I wanted to watch, like just played their way out of it. That didn't really happen today. I don't think. A lot of those guys are kind of in that fatty middle, which I think is a very good thing. And hopefully we get through tomorrow with all of them kind of on the right side of the cut line. But looking towards the top of the board, we've got JJ Spaun leading the way, 4 under, bogey free 68 for
66.
Bogey free
66. Don't do my guy like that.
For JJ Spaun, of course. We have Tristan, don't call me Thriston Lawrence, 3 under, 67 for him. I believe he has not made the cut at a major since last year, where he finished T4 at the Open. We have Brooks, we talked about. Siwoo Kim, nice round of golf from him. I believe leading the field in strokes gained approach, of coming off his first ever top 10 in a major, by the way, which kind of surprised me at least a little bit at the PGA, his last start. And TC, you mentioned Ben Griffin also at 1 under, also coming off a T8 at the PGA. This is playing in his first ever. That's the only thing that scared me away from him. Playing his first ever US Open, and comes out and shoots under par in his first round. So impressive stuff from him. Solly, I know you put together a little sustainability models here. I think we want to look at the top of the board here. I think this is helpful for the people. Let's do a little power rankings. You want to do it most sustainable to least sustainable, or vice versa?
Well, I got 4 unsustainables, and I got 3 guys up there that I think are sustainable, if you'll allow it. And this is not straight just looking at the putting and saying who had the flukiest day. Though I'll start with that at the top. JJ
This
Spaun.
is a proprietary algorithm.
It is. I'm picking and
Reduce,
this
reuse,
is
recycle.
eye test is included in this as well.
Sure.
JJ Spaun is going to the top of the list, though. He was second in putting for the day. Bogey-free rounds. Both of those things are not going to happen on Friday, Saturday,
But his
or
yards
Sunday.
after contact are just
That's
off
great.
the charts. The guy's got
That's
a low
great.
center of gravity.
He is getting
keeps
hit
his
the backfield.
feet, okay,
He
he
is getting hit the
spins
backfield.
well. I love him.
He's
Scott,
barreling
he's going
it.
the distance. Come on,
He's a third down back. Okay, and this is all right.
undersized third down back.
We need an Ashton Genty to get all the way through this one. Somebody that can carry it 35 times a game.
Stuck out to me on JJ Spaun. He was hitting 12 greens and shooting 66 is impressive stuff.
Yeah, like 26 putts or something. I mean, great day, and he's a really solid player. I don't mean to like make light of it at all. I'd be very surprised if the way he played today lasted for 72 holes. So that's number one of I don't think this is sustainable. Thriston Lawrence right behind him in putting. He was third as of the time of me putting these notes together. He drove it also way straighter than he normally does, and just straight up, like he just does not have the profile to sustain this for 72 holes. Also didn't at Troon, but he did. So we will continue to monitor that one, but I would consider his performance to be significantly unsustainable.
He's a big game hunter, Solly. He's missed 7 of the last 8 cuts on the Euro Tour, but
He's in the
based on
bush
his
right
Open
now.
Championship performance, can't count him out here.
What if he turns into like the South African Brooks?
Or
maybe
Louis Oosthuizen.
Yeah, maybe he just needs these he needs the bright lights, man.
He needs the juice.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip the way I usually do this completely for the next guy. You mentioned the number 1 in strokes gained approach is Siwoo Kim. That's unsustainable. All right. Siwoo gets hot at times. He's not going to do that over 72 holes, and he's not a very good putter. He had a bad putting day. I truly don't think he can maintain that level of ball striking over the course of 4 days. So I'm going to throw that sustainability into the equation. Cody's really not going to like this one.
Solly, what if we real quick on Siwoo?
Man.
What if we
Damn,
just
y'all
haven't
know.
seen Siwoo's best golf sustained yet? Like Siwoo, like he keeps showing these flashes.
He's
every
always
once
shown
in a while.
flashes. He's just really hard to predict. And it's been he's been around like a decade now.
We got a
players.
pretty big sample size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was that the 2017 players?
it was.
That's
It
a long
was,
time.
right.
That was when DJ won the U.S. Open.
That was, and then 2018
16?
media day, they wanted to
2016
recreate
now.
his driver off the cart path. And they're like,
That was-
we know you have a Callaway driver. Like, can we use your driver instead of like his own gamer? And I was like, what?
I mean, guys,
And
I'm
see
just
what-
saying
he hit my driver off the cart path. It was disgusting. It was gross.
we're shitting on him for stuff.
We're not
back in
shitting on him.
2017, but we're absolutely glazing Spieth at every turn for sure.
We haven't said a word about Spieth yet.
No, just generally over the last
decade.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to talk about Spieth's outfit, the white party outfit.
Those many Spieth versus
Freak off
Siwoo
outfit.
Kim conversations that we have. Yeah.
DJ was having freak offs on the short putts.
Last, and he did not get in the house. It looks like he bogeyed his final hole, the 9th hole. Cameron Young had an out of body putting day. He was 6th in strokes gained putting today. He does not do that with any normal regularity. So I'm gonna have to caution flag that one as unsustainable.
I hate that.
Can we bring in
Ours.
his lawyer for response or rebuttal there? Cody, you got anything? You're just gonna take that, or you got anything to say to that?
He's sustained.
Oh, I mean, he's spot on. That's the issue with this game, right? But the issue, the good thing is we're hot last week too, and a little bit of game travel. Seems like the
putted his
3-wood.
face off last week. He's been
Absolutely.
positive the last 5 events. straight up.
Wow. What
Like,
did you
it's
factor
really-
that into the large language model? Solly
Mm.
positive in 5 events.
I mean, he
Eye
talked
test,
about
baby.
him and his dad just going back to basics, setting the routine right, having their little putting station set up. Like he's been putting really, really good.
But he belongs to the same society or whatever it may be of Big Tone. Whenever it gets like on a hot run, immediately jamming it into neutral and sometimes even in reverse is just. I've seen this one before. I've seen it. I just don't think this could be sustained. Please, I will own that.
How big Tone play today?
We're all rooting for it.
Big
I
Tone
know.
had a tough one, TC.
Big Tone got in the
6 for
field though.
17.
TC tried to tell us today that Finau wasn't in the field.
He just hadn't teed off yet. That was
Uh,
6 through 17.
Well, I'm
The
excited
guy-
to hear who is sustainable.
And this might surprise you. Number 1 on my list is Ben Griffin. And it did not come with
Wow.
a crazy good ball striking day. I'm just like, this heater feels very real. It feels like he's taking I don't think it's going to last all the way through September, but he's a very serious golfer. He's doing this in a lot of different conditions, a lot of different, styles of play. Like, this is just very real golf. And that 1 under par round today was quite impressive. Well balanced. He gained mostly around the green, but that could be a reflection of leading in the right spots on this golf course. So, nothing really jumped off the screen, but just a really solid all around day. And I think he's going to stick around. So,
and I had this saved, but I have another one for it because DJ had some round table questions later. But I for Ben Griffin specifically, I feel like I watched a little bit of his round this morning, and also watched a lot of them at Memorial. And the way he lashes at the driver, like I see what he's doing. Like after, going to TPI and understanding like the ground force reactions and pushing off your front foot. Like that's all I see now with these pros when I'm watching him swing. And he does that really well, but I find the swing aesthetically unpleasing.
It's the head move. It's the
completely
head.
honest. It's very fundamentally sound, but I don't like it very much, which is totally fine. But the way that he misses, he has that big right miss, and he was missing in that long rough at Memorial a ton. And just like that was screaming unsustainable at me. And I was actually had him earmarked. I wasn't on any of the preview content, but I was like, circle him as a guy that's not going to do well here. So that's just, I guess he's just got gifted hands and like you said, missing in the right spots. For the eye test, it doesn't pass the eye test for me.
What do you guys think?
I think he also, just flipping through his round real quick, he also just like takes the left side out of play, and if you can do that, I think that's a big ass part of playing tournament golf, right? It's just knowing kind of, that's the Scotty formula. It's just like, it's not going to go right. It might go left from time to time, but we can deal with that. Like, it's if it's not going to go one way, I think is a big help.
Okay.
What do you guys think Ben Griffin is ranked in the world right now?
21.
Yeah, I was going to say in the mid 20s. So I'll say 24.
15?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Obviously, that's the crooked OWGR and
of course,
all of that. But,
and so I think I'm almost punishing him
16
because
on
of
golf.
my own eye test. I guess I'm almost working this out in my live here, but I just I kind of find him fascinating to watch, even though I see the way he goes at the ball, and I'm like, man, I don't love that, but it definitely like works, and fundamentally I see what you're doing.
It's the head movement one, and Neil, it's hard for me to be like, this guy was like I know the mortgage thing is or insurance, whatever it was, is played out. 4 years ago you weren't even playing pro golf anymore.
You don't see a ton of guys that just like bloom this late after making a good hard run at it,
and he got his foot back in the door. I think that's the depressing part about like where we are as a sport right now, right?
He hasn't gained that much distance though. Like it doesn't really fully check. Granted, like everybody's chasing distance and sliding up. So he's like 180 ball speed. He's not like gaining on people these days, which is kind of crazy, but it's not like it's not a Blanto Griffin playbook TC to use.
By all accounts, he seems like a really genuinely awesome guy. And so like, I don't want me, saying I don't like the way his swing looks it is a diss, but I don't mean it offensively. It's just like, honestly, it's like, Jesus, man. Like, what? It looks like he's just lashing at the ball in a way that should be punished with bigger misses sometimes, is how I feel.
I think what's interesting about him is, at least for me, he's kind of the latest embodiment of, it's kind of the Tiger winning takes care of everything sort of situation. But the evolution in my mind, but from like, that guy is an NPC, the most nondescript player. This is exactly what's wrong with the vanilla PGA Tour, to just slowly like, oh, he did it again. Huh. Okay. Oh man, he played well again.
You know what
he might be now he's doing it at the US Open. Like, wow, he just keeps showing up. It's like a little micro version of my evolution with Scotty, and that's why I don't know. Just eventually you got to hand it to him. And that's why I think the point I'm at, where I'm just like, all right, man, the seesaw is flipped here. And now I'm just like, keep doing it. This is impressive.
Solly, is he on the Ryder Cup team yet?
The Ryder Cup is played in September. It's this end of the year like match play event that they play.
It's only every 2 years.
It's every 2 years, despite me campaigning for it to be every year. So And they set the rosters actually in August, I think it is. So
After the
we'll
BMW Championship.
we'll actually do a ton of content around that when those days come around.
That's gonna be.
Yeah,
on
I already
Solly's
put Rasmus Neargard Peterson on my team.
You say a lot of things on a lot of these pods. You've
How
put
did Tommy
Adrian
play
Dumont-
today?
Did you
TC.
start on this
Tommy
team?
shot
Plus
74.
4.
He's still in this thing. He one good round tomorrow, and we're right back.
Dude, Ben Griffin might be. I'm testing one out live on. He might be Seabiscuit. He might be
Maybe.
like people.
He needs-
He's a thoroughbred that we didn't even see coming. Undersized, unbelievable.
He needed the rest of his generation to get ahead of him, so he could just chase
So
him down.
he's definitely a chaser. I love it.
Can I run this real quick by you guys? The average ball speed on tour in 2020 was 169.71. What do you think it is in 2025?
176.
What was it? 165?
169.7 in
69?
2020.
Probably like
179.
74,
176.
174.37, which sounded like a lot
That's-
before Neil did 11 majors for Nelly.
I mean, it's literally like
guessing, but
15 yards, right? So isn't it like
so
it's
much.
like 3 yards per mile an hour or something?
It's
Depends on what your smash factor is. Not everybody
Sure.
has a
On average.
great smash
These guys usually hit it out of the middle pretty well.
No, a lot of them don't because the driver head's too big.
Anyways, second on my list for sustainable, I had Koepka. Not even looking at the numbers, and I know it was not the prettiest ball striking day, and it was a good short game day for him. Now I watched a lot of his round today. It was like, ooh, that looks like him. That really does look like him. Quite a clean card, and I respected what Koepka did today. And you're not gonna like the last one. It's like the definition of unsustainable, but I'm putting it in there anyways. Jord hit the shit out of the ball today. Do I have any faith on him for a 4-footer right now? I don't. I truly don't. But he had a better day with the putter after a very tough start to the day with putter, but was 10th in strokes gained approach and just kind of a little buoyant out there. There were a lot of times in that round that could have got away from him today, and it didn't. I think at his core right now, Jordan's hitting the ball nice, and I think he's going to top 15 this tournament, which may not sound like that bold, but I think he's going to stick around and be somewhat involved. I don't think he's a threat to win it as of right now, but I think he can sustain where he's at right now.
Stick your neck out.
I loved
Top
the
15.
stat that we were talking about on the happy hour the other day of the guys who basically have above average distance and above average accuracy or whatever it was, like a standard deviation above on both of those. When Jordan showed up on that list, I could feel Solly pulling his hair out of all the people being like, Jordan Spieth?
Whoa!
Really? He's driving the ball well? It's like, dude, we've been trying to wave every car at pull over. We got to tell you the good news about Jordan Spieth. He's driving the shit out of it right now.
Boys
guys.
club, boys club,
This
boys
could
club.
this could be
Odds
a good
on,
fit.
baby. Odds on.
Could be a good fit.
I think
Solly,
the
that's good
birdie on
stuff, man.
16. The birdie on 16 kind of papered over some things, but birdies on 16 and 17, bogey on 18.
Classic case though, TC. If you based it off of his reactions to each shot, you'd think he was 5 over. I mean, it's a total freak off, Deej. Just guys going nuts.
Baby
out there.
oil everywhere.
Yeah,
God, we got to be really careful with this one.
I
Yeah.
know. You're right.
Uh,
You're right. Still fun though.
Let me corral the reins here for a second, just to say that Golf Pride has won more major championships than any other grip brand, with more than 80% of tour pros choosing to play their grips, and not a single one is paid to do so. As we watch the world's best take on some of the toughest greens in the world this week, you can optimize your putting stroke as well with reverse taper. That's what I got on my putter. You may have seen a few putts go in the Career Classic with that grip that I emergency put on. Might have put since then, but that's on me. Engineer with a slim upper hand and a larger lower hand, the reverse taper technology helps stabilize both hands to promote a more square face at impact. The dimple textured pattern runs the full length of the grip to support traction, while the enhanced tacky material ensures a soft feel. Now available in the new Tour-inspired smaller profile, the reverse taper collection is complete with 3 distinct shapes and sizes. So regardless of your gripping style, there's a reverse taper for you. Right now, listeners of the pod, get 20% off a full set of up to 13 swing grips and 1 putter grip at golfpride.com. Code NLU at checkout. If you're a Nest member, you get 25% off a full set of up to 13 swing grips and 1 putter grip with a one-time use code in your member profile. Performance is in your hand with Golf Pride, the #1 grip in golf worldwide.
Did you guys see the other day? They posted something Golf Pride did about the they did pencils. They're like, hey, we'll produce these pencils if we get this many likes or whatever. Did you see the pencils?
Yeah, they were the grips.
Yep.
They mocked up. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I want a
Do
million.
you have
'Cause
a,
I
do you have a
collect
new
golf
pencil?
pencils.
Yeah. Since when have you been?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were collecting golf pencils, TC. You know I love a good
Mm.
collection. I got the
Those are-
sticker board back here,
are good.
scorecards.
Yeah.
Have you been doing that for a while?
A long time now.
Oh,
Like probably 6-7 years.
huh.
How about that?
I'd love to see. I'd love to explore the collection sometime, TC.
I
next
would
time
too. I haven't
come
really. I
see you.
just throw them all into a jar. I don't have them at all organized or anything like that. That's neither here nor there.
Well, rounding out the kind of the rest of the people under par, just so they get a mention here. Sungjae Im 2 under. I think we've all kind of been waiting for that one at a major championship. Let's see that continue for another 3 days. I think that would be very fun. Thomas Dietrich regaining some form after looking like a stud earlier in the year. And Jonathan Rahm at 1 under drove the absolute shit out of the ball today. This feels unbelievably real to me, and I think he was one of the pre-tournament favorites that was slept on just a hair. He has been Mr. US Open, and I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that, other than I'm very excited to watch Jon Rahm and listen to Jon Rahm and just have the whole Jon Rahm experience the next 3 days.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it seems.
And I picked him not to win, so I might have a mea culpa later.
That's okay though. You
Yeah.
kind of getting the second place guys that's always an
I
honor.
know, as the
That's
gentleman's game, you want to get as close as possible.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay with that. I like
think
to live
we're-
dangerously.
I think we're skipping over Sungjae pretty quickly. Like he was 5 under at one point. Played 3 and 4 poorly. Dropped back to 3. But I think Sungjae. I like where Sungjae's at. I think Sungjae is going to be a force to be reckoned with out there. He's driving it well. Didn't really hit his irons all that well today, based on the stats, and chipped his butt off. I think if he can clean up the iron play a little bit, like Sungjae feels very sustainable.
I think last year just soured me so much, missing the cut at
Yeah.
those first 3 majors and just kind of like, what are we doing, man? Is this guy the guy we think he is, or is he not? And then he's bounced back and he's played. I mean, he played well. I honestly kind of forgot he was T5 at the Masters. My attention was quite
T7
tight
at
on
the Open last year too.
yeah, my attention was quite tight on Bryson and Rory at the Masters. I missed that, but then he bounces back and like misses the cut at Quail Hollow. So it's like, I don't know. I never quite know what to make, and so I'm not meaning to skip over him, but I am kind of like let's see it, man. Like let's
Deej, wake me up on
let's get there.
Sunday. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
it.
I
I've
hate
been burned by him
I know.
in picks so many times, but he's got the wave god on the bag, so
course. For whom all
I hate
things
to
are
put him in the
possible.
category of we'll talk about this. Talk about you when it gets serious, but I'm afraid Sungjae goes in that category these days.
That's fine. That's fine.
TC, I would be remiss if I did not give you the chance to talk about Rasmus Neargard Peterson, who is now bogeyed his last 2 holes to
2 in
fall
a row,
back to
yeah.
1 under after getting it to 3 under. Is this sustainable? Is this they are who we thought they were type of situation, or is this what are we seeing?
I mean, he just knocked it on the green, on 17, so he should have a 2-putt birdie there, get back to 2 under. Yeah, I mean, he's a stud. He's a thoroughbred. So to continue our equine theme tonight, he's already on my Ryder Cup team. I put him on that 4 or 5 weeks ago when we recorded that. So yeah, all good. I'm full send. I think he'll be there. He'll be there at least until Saturday.
I just want to point out, I think he was through like 6 holes, and TC put this in our Slack quote. I don't think I'm getting enough respect for Neargard Peterson being on my Ryder Cup team last month. Last month is all caps. I said add it to the long list of things that you don't get enough credit for, TC.
We should do a
But
whole
I
pod
think that
on
was an early call there.
Great call by TC there. Just want to get everybody up to date here. So coming off of 3 missed cuts is where we find him right now, to include the U.S. PGA Championship. His best finish so far this year is the 2nd at the Puerto Rico Open. But I will say he's in a tough spot, being one of these lone Euros that come over, trying to take advantage of that PGA Tour card. TC's just cutting his teeth out there, just like any good young horse does.
Thank you. We just need to make sure we got a good jockey on the bag. He's also played. It's disgusting that you said his best finish is that, because he was solo 4th at the Hainan Classic.
BDE.
He was
for
he
sure.
was 2nd at the Cotter Masters. So
Anything that
those
has
are-
classic or masters in it, we know we got to elevate.
Is that a national open?
It's a Masters.
yeah, it's a national Masters.
And rounding out the under par blokes is James Nicholas holding tight at 1 under, which 10 people under par, I think, brings me to my next kind of topic here. Impressions of Oakmont. I'm seeing a lot of TPC Oakmont, TPC Pittsburgh. This course is a joke. There, I don't get it. I don't know if it's a bit. There's 10 people under par out of 156
with no wind and 13 inches of rain.
Yeah, I think it's like I'm cool. I think this is kind of what we were expecting. The leading score is the same as it was last time around. Solly, what were your impressions of Oakmont today?
I greatly enjoyed it. I thought again, I feel like every Thursday aside from Shinnecock, we get the same weather. Like the wind does not ever fucking blow on Thursdays for US Opens for whatever reason for as long as we've done this show, and I'm desperate for that to happen. So we don't have to do this Thursday conversation of USGA and setup. Like I honestly and truly don't know what they could have done differently. Now, again, this is a Thursday setup. This is not a Saturday, Sunday setup. There's 156 guys that got to get through the field. They are not going to put the pins in the hardest spot on 18 of the green. So that's the most extreme version of what they could do Thursday.
Solly, last night, everybody was freaking out about the hole locations. Like, oh my God, it's going to be impossible with these hole locations. Like, what were people looking at? They were
tough. They were not easy.
Locations. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be easy any day. No. Right?
But I mean, like I said, 10 guys broke par. This was the hardest opening round of the U.S. Open that we've had since Shinnecock when the wind blew on that opening round. It played 6.5 shots over par that day. This was the hardest going all the way back to Oakmont in 2016. I mean, it was harder. It played harder than it did that opening round. It was definitely harder than Chambers Bay. I didn't go back farther than that to say, like, it's the hardest opening round we've had in a decade without conditions, ignoring that Shinnecock day. So I thought, I'm not usually a thick, rough guy, but the fairways are wide enough that it feels like guys have a chance off the tee. It feels like when you're hitting it in thick rough, you deserve to be there and you deserve the punishment that's come with it. So I didn't feel like I was watching guys just hack out of rough all day long. There's enough variables of you could be in a ditch, you could be in a bunker. It just was a very different experience. And I think Winged Foot is what we always compare it to. I think Oakmont is passing the test of, like, if you're a fan of golf, I don't know why you would not like this golf course or this setup. But you might just be wishing for something that doesn't exist. Is my opinion.
Can I I wouldn't call it a counterpoint because I appreciate all of that. And I enjoyed the course. Now, I've never been there. I don't have a lot of familiarity with it other than some of the stuff that you posted. And, I have not locked in on preview content this week. I'm struggling to identify, I'm struggling with orientation on the course. And, maybe it's because there's no trees, but a lot of the holes look the same to me as somebody that's just consuming it from TV. And it looks really hard. And I think the place, I guess what I'm trying to say a little bit is the photography is magnetic of Oakmont. Like when you show the aerials and the drone footage, it's like, oh my God, this place looks awesome. But I couldn't tell you if that is number 4 or number 14. And so that's where there's not a lot of landmarks for me to lock in on. And some of it might be, I had the quad box going all day, so I feel a little ADHD. It's like I watched a ton of golf, but I didn't really consume any of it. And so that might be a user error. But I haven't, I think the difference with Augusta is you have such a familiarity with every hole that you kind of know your way around the quad box a little bit better. And I feel like I'm getting a little overwhelmed with the same looking hole, but subtle challenges that I am not able to peel the onion back on because I haven't played it. I haven't been there in person. So that's just my honest Thursday feel for it. And I hope that changes over the course of the next 3 days. And I think it will.
And I think honestly would attribute that to Thursday, Friday, 2T starts. Like I look up and I'm like, wait, what hole are they on? I can't tell.
I know. It's
I think
like,
by the weekend,
where did he start? All of that's factoring in. And I saw some fun stuff. I want to call out, I absolutely love the ditches. Yeah. And I think that I love that they're being featured and they're talking about them on the broadcast. I think more golf courses, especially public golf courses, should put these ditches in. If you don't want to take care of bunkers or spend the money to put in new bunkers, grass ditches and grass almost hazards is an awesome feature to a hole. DJ, I remember from Strapped in New Mexico, that just like crappy course that we played the first day had some of these features. And I just thought it really, really helped take a boring course and make it interesting.
Yeah.
So I just full coast, like send it
hard
to
maintain. That's the hard for a public if you're talking like low maintenance golf courses, that they're
You
hard to
think so?
maintain. Yeah, getting mowers in and out of there, like, and not making it so it's lost ball in there is
Yeah. Okay. Fair
is-
enough. I think it's a cool. It's a feature I'd like to see more of in golf. I guess.
pro golf. I
I
agree.
think another thing that's making, I totally agree on 2T start. I think NBC again, they use too many tower cams that are looking straight down and you can't see out instead of you're looking down instead of out. Because Neil, I think like the front nine and the back nine are very different too. Like you get across the interstate there, and I wish they brought that out more. I think the other thing is just like they're trying to show everybody in the field at least once.
I know you can feel that.
They're bouncing around like crazy, and I think that just kills the flow when you're watching, especially on the main broadcast.
I called it out. It was like a random Adam Schenk, like 15-footer that he missed at +4. I was like, okay, I know what we're doing here at 3:15 p.m. Not that one off.
Watching the multi-view and the feature group was great today, because like then you realize just how much like the broadcast is just a highlight show. Like they're miles behind certain parts and they've got to get caught up and all that stuff. And it
The
was
feature stuff was awesome.
and that's where, like, if you thought it was too easy this morning, so they were showing every birdie that happened this morning. And if you watch the feature group coverage, I'm like, dude, looks so fucking hard. Like Lowry's throwing microphones over here. Guys are flubbing chips. Like it was so much going on a hole-to-hole basis on some of the feature group.
Which and feature groups did a great job with player caddy convos as well. I was watching the one with Colin and Joe. They were like talking through every shot. It was awesome. There was not a lot of commentary there. More of that.
I think two things. I agree with everything you guys are saying, Neil, especially having not been there. I resonate a lot with what you're saying, having a tough time, deciphering which hole is which. I think it's a very hard, like it's a lot of hard work to get everything that you're getting out of it, Solly. And I think you're totally right. But like, I'm just today where I'm like, I'm bouncing around and I'm changing diapers and I'm doing whatever. That's where I'm very much with you, Neil. I'm like, wait, what hole is this? What's going on? Was he on the front or the back? And I think if you do lock in and you know the holes and you understand like, okay, he just hit it in that right rough. What does that mean? It rewards all that work, because the strategy and the, consequence and all of that is there. It just, I think a lot of setups like this, as I felt like more of a casual golf fan today. And I think as a casual golf fan, a lot of setups like this make the first 63 holes like kind of boring. And the last 9 holes, like really fucking exciting. It's like, oh my God, he drove in the rough. What's he going to do now? And it's really hard to watch that as like part of a highlights package. But I think once you're in the flow, that's a different story. And then the second thing I was going to say is, Neil, I think everything you're saying about not knowing which hole is which again, I feel the same way, is another tick in the positive column for anchor sites for the US Open. It's like, I think if we're coming here every, we start coming here every 7 years with regularity, like I think you do start to pick up like, oh, right, the 17th drivable. Oh, right, the church pews on the 3rd hole. Oh, right, the par 3 8th. I think you start to like get a lot more of that, and it just takes time to.
Yeah, because I agree with Solly. I hear and I can understand all the stuff you love about it. I think without the highway is the only like landmark that you have, and you don't see it much. It doesn't come into play on the hole by hole camera stuff. There's no ocean to orient you at Pioneer. There's no contrast with waste area of like, don't hit it there. It's just very green from the view I'm seeing on TV, which is you gotta I'm gonna have to lock in it over the next 3 days to but I like that, if you buy in, then you're going to get a lot out of it, because there's a lot of nuance and subtlety. I love the I saw a shot that Nick Taylor hit. He hit like a
on number 1
the back of his stance, and it ran like 80 yards down to the green. Like I don't know what hole it was, but it was like, oh, that's awesome.
We need Kim Brown.
I think if you get to Saturday, Sunday, they'll have time to set up the holes. They'll have time to show the pin positions and show what the slopes are doing around the hole locations. Like there was like the 6th hole today was so subtly difficult of where that pin was on the right side, of like trying to cut up a little fade up against that with everything sloping right to left. If you miss right, you're totally boned, like where Scotty hit it. And I think Siwoo absolutely stuffed one in there on that hole. Was like, that was really earned if you had seen all the other shots trying to get in there tight. I don't know if we won't have Friday.
I thought 12 was the same way. That again was just from listening to you guys on the podcast and knowing that one slopes back back right.
Holy shit.
And like seeing some of those balls where they'd land was where I was kind of like, oh wait, this has no chance. But again, that takes a lot of like homework to
There's so much more
get ready for.
There's so much more topography out there. I think which direction each hole is going, like when you're out there, it makes total sense. It's kind of like Muirfield over on like the open road over where it's not like out and back. There's you're bouncing around all points in the compass. And so I think that's a big component when you're out there, and they don't do a good job of necessarily showing that on TV. I think on the difficulty side too, there's only so much. There's only so many levers that they can pull when it's, like you said, when it's rained with no wind. And then also they got to get 150 players through. Like, I think if they turn the screws too much, they're just straight up not going to finish like the first 36 holes.
Yeah.
Which I think then it's tricky because it's supposed to rain this weekend. So how much are we really going to get on Saturday and Sunday,
And I guess I'm optimistic that the greens were softish today and the course held up totally fine. Like, I just don't think rain's going to ruin it. It's not going to be good. But also the rain element, I mean, we experienced it in the media day, TC. The rain element with the rough, it adds a different layer too.
Totally.
When you get that stuff wet, like it is legitimate. I know these guys
spin
swing it
control
fast.
even out of the
is
fairway.
Hard. It is hard. Yes, yeah, exactly. It is hard to get golf clubs through that rough. I mean, they're literally mowing it to stand straight up. Like that's like the mower setting that they have it on. Like, so wetness is going to soften the greens, but it's going to make the rough play that much harder, and it's going to be interesting.
I think something else too is like, I think on the flip side, we saw some guys get tested today with controlling their spin. Like they were putting too much spin on it and trying to jam it into a back pin with too much spin and getting exposed.
Well, as far as a couple of specifics, help the people out. What holes did you guys enjoy watching most today, and why? Sally, I'll start with you.
Easy one for me was the second hole. Usually you get a short par 4 to PGA Tour level pros, the top level pros. You end up with a scatter plot that looks like, oh, well, that's clearly the strategy on this hole. But if you look at the overhead of the second hole, like the mix of strategies and all that stuff was crazy. I mean, there was somebody laid back, Victor Perez laid back to 165, he left himself 165 in. And it was, the hole itself today, the second hole was 356 yards on the card. It was the fourth hardest hole on the entire golf course. And it was 10
doubles on a 350-yard hole today.
16 birdies on it. But it was such a tough pin position. The back left hole location, one of those restored hole locations that they had. And it was just a variety of different strategies. I mean, if you missed in the left rough, it was really, really difficult. We saw Spieth hit it over there, and he just chunked it into the bunker like Smiley Kaufman said it was intentional, because that was his best chance to get up and down for par. We watched guys, if you miss in the short right rough, you could chip right up and with a really good play, but like Lowry chipped it too far and went over the green, had to chip back down. Victor Hovland hit one of the, I think it was Hovland, one of the worst controlled spin shots, or who hit one?
I thought you were talking about Hovland when he kind of tried to hit that little 1 foot chunk and ended up throwing it over.
Oh yeah,
on that hole.
That was that one. So it was Lowry before he even hit it over the green. Hit one of the worst ripping spinners to that back left hole location you could have. It was everything I appreciate about all the slope in those greens and the challenge that they put forth, like expanding that little area past the bunker that we talked about with Jeff Hall, in that little neck, encourage guys to hit drivers up there. And so we actually saw a variety of strategies. So that was a 17's a full go for pretty much everybody, but 2 was an interesting strategical development.
TC, do you have a favorite today?
I thought 1 and 10 played cool. Like, I think I could watch guys play it into those greens all day long. And especially here in America, you just don't have to see guys land it short and run it on. And so the ball on the ground, that's what it's all about for me, is the ball on the ground. And that's one of the rare instances in domestic golf when we get to see that. So
it's crazy that one of my takeaways from watching the US Open today was like, I have truly zero interest to go tee it up and play this golf course. I don't need to do that. But God, I would love to just walk around with a cold beer and a wedge and a putter and just go hang out on some of these greens. Because like seeing the short game shots that some of the guys were left with, and some of the ups and downs and train wrecks and all that stuff, like it was so fun to watch. Like you said, once the ball does get on the ground and it rolls into some of these spots, the artistry that it took to either get it up and down or avoid a double or take your medicine, or it was really, really enjoyable.
TC,
Neil, what about you?
said something. I'm gonna abstain from favorite hole because it would be an educated take.
He doesn't know the holes.
I kind of like them all.
Yeah, I
Kinda
like them
fish
all,
songs.
man.
I like them all. TC, you said something in Slack earlier, like
Celebrates Kevin Gates' entire catalog.
yeah, exactly. Shout out to Two Phones. I would, God, I lost my train of thought. Oh, you said a little bit more short grass around the greens would be. I agree with you on that. I feel like there was it feels like there's always an entrance. There's a run up or a short grass in the front of the greens, but I didn't see a lot of other places where it wasn't just thick rough behind and to the sides of the greens. And I think I don't know. Maybe I'm off.
They could make this place impossible with more short grass around the greens.
I'm normally in support of that, TC, but I think with how severe the slopes are, like you almost need the balls to stop or else they just run into something else. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't see a lot of balls stop on the short grass. I think on how severe a lot of the surrounds are, it would like funnel into a bunker or,
What if
almost
they cut it down after Friday? Like, all right, we did the cut. Now we're going to do another cut and we're going to cut the grass down. And
that would be
not gonna have any
sweet.
rough
Golf
around
course
the
is a
greens.
living document. It should be able to
Well,
morph
Solly, I think
and
there's
evolve.
some intrigue there a little bit for like if you cut it short on one side, maybe you see guys trying to, I don't know, it almost adds a little bit of strategy. Like I gotta be over there on the short grass, or I want to avoid the short grass. But now I'm riffing now. Total jam session.
Here's
the phones, boys.
Here's the test that it passes for me. There's not I'm out of position. Let's jam it through the green and it's going to stop in a totally fine spot. There's none of that, right? That's where the thick rough part really loses me on a lot of like PGA Tour golf courses. But I mean, like, it's so freaking hard as it is. I mean, course rating wise, like I think you can do this actually if you go to the USGA app. Like there's nothing like
well done
feeling when the feeling when your handicap index drops. That's not going to happen very often at Oakmont. But the morning after a round with your buddies, you check your phone, see you've lowered your handicap. You put in the work. You've earned this. It's worth bragging about in the group chat. This is a hard ad read for me to do because I just got soft capped. But having a handicap index shows you're not just playing, you're progressing. You can track your handicap over time. It gives you a clear measure of improvement and motivates you to continue refining your skills. That's why you track your game, not just for competing with friends, but for the quiet flex that comes with lowering your handicap. Get a handicap index today. Go to usga.org/get-a-handicap to sign up. Download an app that integrates the handicap index, such as the Gin app, and start posting scores.
You want to know what the rating is in the slope on the championship?
What is it?
And I don't even think this is U.S. Open conditions. It's 78.4, 150 slope.
Jeez.
So,
Which that is easier than TPC Sawgrass from a
because
slope perspective.
there's no water and there's I think all the water and OB and all that stuff is like what jacks the slope and rating
for a
up.
bogey
Crazy,
golfer.
right?
Yeah.
But I would want to know, how does rough factor in? Like if they rated it during with rough. And I also do want to say our guy Riggs, he shot what 100.
I knew where this is going.
He shot what 116 or something like that.
I think it was
Lost
100,
to Trent.
106, I believe.
106 lost to Trent. Riggs, I'm not seeing that on your gin, homie. I'm not seeing that.
TC's trying to get on the hater series. He's making a strong case for the hater series.
God,
right
Riggs versus TC haters is.
But I'm not
might
seeing
be written
it.
in the stars.
You got to post them all, baby. That's the rules of
That's
golf.
part
That's
of
the
it.
rules of the
Is
gin.
there
You
something-
got a gin.
Is there something to not want to spoil the video? That's the
You
only.
can go back and post them. They're just going to say I wish you would
When did the
post
video
this the same
post? The
day,
other
but they'll still
day,
let you
he's-
post it.
Yeah, I bet it'll make its way in there. I'll ride for it.
Can I say just I do want to give, I had it for the shout outs at the end, but figure I'll just shout the USGA out now. I think they have the best Pantone of blue and red like on the planet. The graphics for the USGA rule.
Yeah.
So good.
And it just
Good
gets me
brand.
like patriotic, and you see the flags flying on the bleachers. It rules, man. Like
Pin flags, the T markers. Just
whoever
the whole
did
deal.
the USGA's brand refresh a few years back, like shout out to them, number one. And two, I appreciate in the coverage that I watched on the the broadcast, I like the on screen, like get a handicap, like okay, that's what we're pushing this year as an advertisement. I'm listen, TBD if we get a bunch of USGA commercials, but it's like, hey, that's not interrupting my golf watching. It's just kind of a quick, like, you scan the QR code. It feels like somebody's thinking about this stuff, being thoughtful about it. And I just want to call that out. I appreciate the effort.
Big Mike.
There's something too when you play a USGA qualifier too. Like they have the USGA tees sitting right there, and it just like makes your butt pucker a little bit. It's just like a little bit like, oh shit, this is gonna be hard. Like just seeing the branding, like this is gonna be hard
We're
today.
playing real golf today.
You're thinking about the letterhead, if you get the letter, like I'm sure that's going to be on point.
Quick sleeve. There's a lot of
Hey,
published
speaking of
USGA
Pantone today, the blow pig, he looked like he was just a shade, just like a paint dip. I think our friend Bill Knight's
stick.
like a paint sample.
Well, Neil, I tasked you. I think train wrecks are kind of the thing not everybody, a lot of people, a lot of these haters and losers are looking for when they tune into the US Open. What'd you dig up, Neil? I asked you to dig up your favorite train wrecks of the day.
Yeah, and I wanted to be respectful here. Like I didn't want to go straight to like 156.
Sure.
You can go find that for yourself on the scoreboard, because it's like a lot of those were like kind of just a bunch of bogeys.
Yeah.
So I thought about I thought Rory's finish was a bit of a train wreck, could go there. I think Lowry was kind of runner up here, +9 with 3 doubles. And he also holed out on the 3rd hole for eagle. So that to shoot 79 with an eagle hole out from the fairway is like things got off the rails a little bit. I'm sure he was really, really kind, as I said earlier, to the staff afterwards. But I'm going with Mark Hubbard. +6 today.
He's already homeless, Neil.
I know. I'm beating up on him. And because he didn't make a par on the back 9. And I thought this was sick. I thought it was so cool to see this scorecard. He shot 41 on the back. And shout out to him. He went bogey, bogey, birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey, bogey, birdie, bogey. I thought that was awesome. He made a triple on 15. And so we can go to that shot tracker. And I thought this was a good train wreck of like a classic US Open train wreck. So he hits it in the right bunker on 15. Then he leaves one in there. We all know what that's called. Okay, so now we're hitting 3 from there. And then he hits 3 out, does a really good job of getting it back into the fairway. I don't know. The shot tracker saying it like spun right across the fairway. I don't know if we can trust this.
Massive slope. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, but good for him because he looked like that 3rd
was
one
trying to do the right thing. Yeah.
was right up against the lip. So he took his medicine. And then this is where it's classic US Open. He goes, it looks like he's like, all right, I gotta, we gotta go get it here. He misses long left of the stick and puts it back in the rough, probably like 10, 15 feet from the stick. And then he I don't know if he flubbed one, but he hit it short and then he 3-putted. And it's like, God, that just sounds like what I did at the Ike qualifier on Tuesday. We're compounding mistakes, DJ. And just throw the 3-putt cherry on top. So I want to shout out Mark Hubbard because I think first, I just thought the scorecard was awesome. Most of the scorecards I looked through was just a lot of bogeys. It wasn't this exciting. But this one was exciting. He's not +6, he could still make the cut. And I think the triple was just kind of like a Mendoza line US Open triple right there of just compounding mistakes.
That's a classic one. That's good spelunking there. I had just a couple. Sorry, I'm reporting this, self-reporting. My guy Andrew Novak hit 3 out of 14 fairways. That's just not gonna quite work with the 5-inch rough. I don't think so.
I think he's got a rib injury.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to opt out of the Novak stuff?
No.
I want to get back onto rooting.
Honestly, he's made
but I
so
don't
much fucking money. He could probably buy his way onto the team at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm not ruling it out at all. I also saw this.
I wouldn't put that past the 31,000.
Exactly.
For the
That's
listeners'
right.
sake,
Like greasing the skids of the 31,000. Get his way on the team.
Pastor Don's passing the basket around.
What were you say?
For the listeners' sake, he shot +6 today for.
Which isn't out of it, Solly.
Yeah,
+6 isn't out of it. We just talked.
You guys are acting like Tommy's out of it at +4.
Well, I guess not out of it to make the cut. It's definitely out of it to win.
Yeah.
So let me rephrase that.
And this was a tough one, but I want to shout out Chase Johnson, who made a par on the very difficult 8th, made a par on the very difficult 16th, but still played the other 2 par 3s and 6 over. Made a quad and a double. I was looking at par 3 scoring That was 6 over on the par threes. I was like, man, that must have just been a bunch of doubles, and that was just those two, which was tough. Tough to make sevens on the par three, but that felt pretty US Open-y as well. Not really a train wreck, but TC, I wanted to shout out your guy Dodo Molinari, who I didn't realize was in the field, and B, he's playing like his third major, I think, in like 10 years, and led the field in strokes gained putting today, which is sick. Like that is just veteran, just get the curveball over, just figure out how to get guys out type of stuff. That gave me a big
Deej, that's the definition of like the videographers. I'll fix it in post.
Yeah,
I'll just make 20-footers. I will fix this in post editing.
He was almost last in strokes gained off the tee, and truly was just like,
that was in the models.
Yeah, we'll just make a bunch of putts. It's great. I love stuff like that.
Deej, on the putting like stats front, a couple alarming ones. Team Rose last in the field, minus 4.5 shots on the greens. He's seeing that. Lowry second to last, and then Victor Hovland, he was 147th. And he's still in the mix
in putting.
God, he just hit it so good. And
TC, I was thinking about calling out Blandy, but I wouldn't do that to you. +6, 76. I know this place doesn't play to his strengths, but
he still has a chance to earn an A from Randy. I think Randy said if he makes the cut, he gets an A. It's a true pass fail class for
Neil. I thought you were going to shout out P.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to DJ's going to ask us what the favorite moment of the day.
That's exactly Neil. God, you took the words out of my mouth. I got a couple prompts here, just a couple ways to sprinkle the rest of the board here. Favorite moment of the day, if you have one, Neil. It sounds like we're going to.
I front run you there.
Yeah,
I just can't get enough. I miss P. Of all the live guys, I just
Patrick Reed. I saw some comments where like, we don't know who the fuck P is. Not everybody knows all your inside jokes. I'm like, oh,
P Reed.
We use that one a lot.
Patrick Reed, the grease ball. The shirt he was wearing, the just bright camo. He had an albatross. Unbelievable, man. And him and the sound guy are like, he's like, did it go in? The guy's like, I don't know, man. Don't yell at me. And just good stuff from P.
I might start doing. That's a good tour sauce move. When you hold it, I might start doing that when I hit it in the water. I think just like.
Go in.
What is it?
Go in. The block.
Tweets Mitchell had a good tweet. If your college teammates when they ask where their stuff is.
What? I don't know.
That's tough. That's a throwback.
But Pete, can you imagine Captain America takes, just the prodigal son returns to take the US Open title?
Neil, he did shoot 73 with an albatross. He made triple on his last hole on 18.
Oh. Well, TC, that was late breaking. See, I had the train wreck already set up.
Still favorite moment of the day.
And still favorite moment of the day is him holing out for an albatross.
Solid, you have a favorite moment of the day?
God, I'm on it. Like I'm sitting here talking about how much I love this day, and I'm like, what was my favorite moment of the day? I'm not sure I have one that rolls off the tongue. No, I got to think on this a little bit more.
I'm kind of with you. I mean, Vic's chip, that
Lowry on 2 was sick too.
Lowry throwing the microphone was cool, but the
a lot of cunty behavior showing up in Lowry's file these days.
It's not good, TC. TC was asking if all of the Irish need to start apologizing.
I don't know if we're quite there yet. But watch this space. The little 1 foot chip out of thick rough is one that I'm like, yeah, man, I just literally don't know how to do that. Just to see the pro struggle with that was that made me feel pretty warm and fuzzy. That was kind of top of my list. TC, a lot of directions we could go, but any favorite moment of the day? How many Johnny Pops did you have? That might have been your favorite moment of the day.
I've had eight Johnny Pops today. I saw Hovland's shirt today, and it made me think of one of the Neapolitan. Xander's shirt today.
It's just like
I almost downloaded Xander's app today, but and I was like, holy! And then I just went to the store. I got a slice of pizza, and I bought like 6 boxes of Johnny Pops, and I had 8 of the Neapolitan ones today, like by 4 p.m. I just couldn't stop eating them. It's crazy. So
you gotta watch yourself, man.
No,
a lot, and that's gonna.
They're only 70 calories in each one. So
no update on the Xander app for anything that happened today for Xander.
I do appreciate. The shirt was outrageous, but it's nice to see him put some color in play. The earth tones. He's just you just rock the earth tones in black for pretty much every round this year.
I think Xander probably went back to the hotel. He's editing the
Oh, yeah.
video for the app tonight, I think.
Working with the coders.
I had a just remember
AWS
this-
went down today too. So
that's
he's
but the
got that to
cock
deal
didn't go
with.
down. It was like the whole internet went down.
No, I want to shout out our guy
Cock-
Nutter. He
NBC
said
didn't go
half
down.
the internet was down, but the cock stayed up.
Exactly.
That's shout out to NBC for that.
This was another prompt I put in here. Just remember this round on Sunday. Did you guys have any nominees for this one, Neil? Did you have anything here?
Yes, I for Remember This Round Sunday, just
Yeah.
confirming. I think Adam Scott. I thought it was just a proper round of golf early in the day. His 24th consecutive U.S. Open start. He made 5 bogeys and 5 birdies. Shot even par. He's just timeless, man. And I could see him like sticking around. I don't know. I'm not going to be like, oh, we might win, but just. I don't think he's scared, and I think he's. I just love seeing that. That's proper golf from Adam Scott.
I had. I mean, I think the answer is probably Scotty, right? Like if he ends up coming up 2 or 3 short, like it's going to be because of today. I would imagine he cleans it up and plays a lot tighter than he did today the rest of the way. But I'm going to shout out our guy Keegan TC. I think this round like should have been like an 80. He hit
Chipped
the
his
ball
face off though.
horribly. He putted horribly. And I feel like he still graded out a 73 and is absolutely not out of it, especially for that vaunted top 10, which I laid some nuggies on. So I think that's remember this on Sunday. This is how we got to this top 10, was not letting it get out of hand today. TC, do you have one here?
Yeah, I'll just say Russell Henley. I think he had 16 pars, a birdie, and a bogey. This feels like a very Russell Henley setup. Just play smart golf, do the right stuff, and he's T11, shot even today. So I'm expecting Sally to shout out Lanto.
I can't believe I'm getting this with the 4th draft pick, but Colin Morikawa shot even today without putting at all. He was second in strokes gained approach. Like he's got his iron play. This course should fit him really, really well. That I would remember that one. I'm surprised we've made it this far without talking about him because he's the 4th or 5th favorite on the board right now. Do not count that guy.
Can I just say, like, nobody like dogged Keegan more than TC, but now that like it might be a point in the category of like Solly doesn't want him on the Ryder Cup team. Now TC's like, fuck yeah, Keegan's my guy. It's the best, man. It's just like TC.
I'll be honest, man. I'm not a Keegan guy.
The enemy of my enemy. It's politics.
Enemy of my enemy.
It's politics, man. It's just sometimes you gotta.
It's the best. It's the best.
It's a rider on this bill.
I feel like I just get to sit around and watch it. It's
bigger than all of this. You know?
Will you apologize for all of it if he doesn't even finish in the top 10 in points?
No, absolutely not.
If he's in the top 20 in points,
That's like
he's in the conversation.
If he's not in the top 20, not in the top 15, I would apologize.
Hey, Solly,
the
you know
whole
what?
point is like if he's in the top 10, like he should be in the conversation.
He should be on the
point
team.
That we're automatically ruling him out is very stupid.
Especially
That's
the little
all I'm
boys, the
gonna
little boys club. Like he's not a little boy.
God.
He's been around.
Guys, highlight of the day was, I can't believe we're glossing over this, was Foxy getting mic'd up or doing the walk and talk, and people were just chanting all the pages were just chanting Foxy.
Cries of Foxy as we walked out this. Love Foxy.
The people love him.
I don't need that. I think when we're calling for certain things on the broadcast, it's not that. But that's another story for another day. What else we got? This was any mea culpas, anything like kind of I should have saw this coming. Solly, you mentioned Brooks. You know, I'm not necessarily willing to go there for that one, but do you have anything else in this category?
I mean, I couldn't have been more all in on Scotty, and he's T55 or whatever now. I don't have a conclusion to reach there. It's not over. Like he can shoot 67 easily tomorrow and be right back at even. I mean, he could shoot 100 tomorrow and still be in this thing, but that was clunky. That was very unbecoming, and just a little bitchy. And I'm not going to pull a mea culpa. We're on mea culpa watch for Scotty. Yeah. I'll say that.
I think that's fair. Anybody else? Anything that you're just is on your weighing heavy on your conscience, Neil?
Yeah, I got one.
TC, I'll let you go.
Okay. I just wanted to say I mispronounced the restaurant Morcia last night, and it's been nagging at me all day. I said Morcia.
Otherwise, all of your predictions like to win and everything.
Yeah, they're fine.
On.
I'm not. It's not ready to. You know,
It's too early. It's too early.
Yeah, it's way too early.
But I need credit for Neargard Peterson.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
too early
You
for
guys,
everything else.
you guys were glazing Bryson.
You were glazing Tommy, who shot 4. You picked Tommy to win. He shot
Bryson
4
beat
over.
Tommy, just for what it's worth.
I'll apologize for my Tom Hoagie takes. Tom Hoagie shot 75 today.
Yeah, TC strong armed me into putting him in our top 20 parlay. I didn't.
No,
like it.
no, Neil, it didn't make it in.
I didn't. Okay.
It didn't make it in.
I will say this is just a quick one. You guys flagged this in the moment, but I kind of tried to weave like some Cantlay talk pretty high in the preview, and you guys weren't about that. And you guys were right. He just evacuated himself once again. Shot 76 today.
I'm struggling to marry these. I'm going to request some comment on this next one. I'm struggling to marry these two things. If we're going to call him a lock, we're going to call him a top 10 player in the world.
Sepp?
Why have we gone an hour, 70 minutes into this show, and no one's mentioned that Sepp shot 78 today?
He shot 78. He's having a great season. He had a bad day.
I mean, 2-time winner this year in pretty big boy events.
So we're going to explain it away. Okay.
That
says everything. That says everything. That's all.
I
That's
will,
the comment I needed.
No, I'll distance myself from this one and a mealy-mouthed apology on this one. This should be his kind of setup, dude. Like this feels like drive it straight, hit it to the right parts of the greens, hang around. I think personally, Solly, I think you nailed this in our preview pod. He didn't switch away from the zebra putter. Like who was that? Nick Price?
Yeah.
Nick Price had to switch his putter, at Oakmont. Didn't use the zebra because the greens were too fast. Sepp, he's too proud to switch away. So I think that cost him. That had to cost him at least 5 shots today, I think.
I've got a apology on behalf of all of us, all trap draw participants, that we didn't see and call out the choke points with the bridges. Across the highway. I think that's should have seen that coming as lovers of infrastructure. TC, you and I specifically, it sounds like they're only using one bridge for pedestrians. Choke point, definition of a choke point.
If this is going to be an anchor site, City of Pittsburgh has many bridges. They're proud of their bridges. We need more bridges.
They need that one member who was
figured out,
footing the bill on all the bridges, right?
That's the top of the list.
Stan Druckenmiller, Neil's
exactly.
Well, he's the one.
Yeah.
He's paying for all the bridges. Yeah. Well, it sounds like we need to get a couple more.
Get the word out to him. Duquesne Capital or whatever he runs.
I was joking about Sepp, but he did lose 3 shots on the greens today. That's kind of funny. 144th strokes gained putting.
Guys, one guy I want to shout out real quick, Matt McCarty. He was 13 over going into 18, and he birdied 18. It was a lone birdie.
Show some heart.
It's just one of those what? We're getting a positive out of this.
What did Matt McCarty say when we were walking around Quill Hollow?
Hey, how's the golf course? He goes, long as fuck.
I was on the 3rd tee at Quill Hollow. That's good stuff.
Oh, that was funny.
Minwoo Solly, you were shitting all over him today.
Who's that?
Just unserious off the tee.
Yeah.
Minwoo. Oh, yeah. Everybody seems to be coming around on that one. Just featured groups out the ass. He was actually, I saw TC. I sent through the company he was keeping in the strokes gained off the tee, which is kind of supposed to be the superpower. There is like him and Blandy and Brian Campbell and Dodo are all like hanging out in the mid 150s.
151st.
Just not good. All right, who's out of it? Let's sign some death certificates here. They're not coming back. They have no chance. Who are you willing to put on?
Saying
that
to
list?
Win or to make the cut?
To win. Okay. Who lost it? You cannot. Just receiving word. You cannot win it on Thursday, but you can lose it. Who lost it today?
Rory.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
I feel like +4 is where I'm like, that's 3 feels doable. 4 feels,
feels like the line.
The line. I think JT
has to feel personal. TC, you don't have any rebuttals there on that +4 mark.
I would put Thomas out of it as well.
Thomas lost it before today, though. That's the whole that's where he couldn't have lost it today.
I'll put Walker, the world's best player, Walko Neiman shot 75 today.
How do we?
Just again, I'm calling it. We're calling balls and strikes here, man.
Top 5 player in the world, 75 minutes in, no mention. Like, get out of
here. I got a question for you guys. Does Phil make the cut in his potentially his last US Open? He's at +4.
I don't think this is Phil's last US Open, man. I think he's gonna try to qualify. Like he'll try to Monday or do sectionals or final qualifying in.
I think you could get an exemption too.
I think
Like
he absolutely should get an exemption. or
Started
2.
off bogey, double, and then battled back, birdied 14, bogeyed 15, birdied 16 and 17. Finished 70.
The group at +4 is sick. Like ZB, one of the probably shortest player in the field outside of one of the amateurs. He shot 74. You got Tommy, Hideki, Fitz, the Piglet, Rory, Lucas Glover, Cam Davis, Mickelson, Eduardo Molinari, Jackson Buchanan, El Presidente, JT Poston, Matthew Jordan, Zach Pollo. Just a cast of characters there at +4. I think we got HE at +3. I don't think +3 is too far back. Bryson's at +3.
Bryson and Scotty at +3 saves that number.
I agree. There's also some people at +3 that like could miss the cut tomorrow too, right? With like their so I want to shout out some names. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Make the cut, miss the cut. Keegan Bradley. Thumbs
Makes
up
the cut.
Is
Makes the cut.
He'll make the cut.
I think he'll make that's big of you, Solly. Bryson DeChambeau.
Good golfer.
Yeah, he'll make the cut.
I'm
Bryson.
gonna say misses the cut.
Ooh, bad day tomorrow, you're saying.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler. I think
What do you guys think the cut's
Nice
going to be?
probably
T62 is +4 right now, so I'd say +7 maybe.
yeah, probably maybe even higher.
It's
right?
between 6 and 7 odds wise as of right now. 40% chance of +6.
Yeah, I don't think Bryson's going to
31.
go backwards that much. I think he makes a cut.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Makes it. He's trying his
make it.
hardest.
He's doing his
Drop
hardest.
odds.
Rory. +4.
Misses.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one.
Really
I
hard
see him
one.
just packing it in, man. Just
I bet
saying,
he makes
that
it.
too.
I
I'm
bet
gonna
he makes
take.
it.
I'm gonna take miss. Do we have any commentary? People have heard enough probably about the skipping media thing, but once again, skip media today. Solly, I thought you had a great point on Slack about I get the TaylorMade thing, I get the driver thing. Not wanting to talk about that. Don't really get what the
had the weather excuse on the Saturday, wanted to see his daughter on the Friday, just wanted to get home and in his own plane, couldn't have waited 7 minutes for him to answer a couple questions on the Sunday, or his reasons for not doing it. Like, you play in one USGA event a year, they're offering up millions of dollars. You've probably made close to $10 million from the USGA from playing this event over the years. You can't stand there and answer a couple questions, like just chalk, like what happened out there today. You're in such a hurry after a morning. You don't have the daughter excuse, bedtime excuse with this one. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, it's so silly to have to
such an
revisit.
own goal. It's so
I
so
don't want to
pointless.
revisit this. Just fucking answer the dumb
Ari
question. I know
Fleischer
that-
and the crisis management folks, though, they may know better.
I mean, this is just, I don't even know what we're rebelling against at this point. It just, man.
Deej,
it's
you had a
just-
good point too on just like
I was just saying,
media
like,
that- yeah.
I don't love the only thing that irked me the wrong way, and I don't want to be high and mighty from where we're at, because like we're not on site, we're not out there in the scrums, and like we kind of take the quotes that other people are getting, and so I'm well aware of that. But I don't love the disconnect between like, I'm not going to tell you what driver I'm hitting, come out and watch me if you really want to see. And I'm sure there were people that were out there watching him for all 18 holes today who probably just want to write about one of the best players in the world, the number 2 player in the world, who's won the Masters and Pebble and the Players and has a good chance to, win at Portrush probably, and like wants to, gather as much info about his game as they can. I'm sure they were out there following all day today. And so to not answer questions for those people is where I'm kind of like, oh fuck, man, like that's a tough 1-2 punch there, I think.
Yeah, it's not this that you didn't sit down for a press conference. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just more the scrum or the I don't know. It just feels feels like an easier thing to do for less of a
Feels
headache
bitchy.
later. It's just
Yeah,
like
last
it's
year-
like draining the credit card. It's like, dude, you're just like pushing it off, because then the questions are going to get a little bit more annoying if you just
last year
keep
I scoffed
ignoring it.
at the Sunday, like Bryson being a crowd favorite at Pinehurst over Rory. I thought that was just like misplaced energy from the crowd. And a year later, I'm kind of like, well, I mean, Bryson's done nothing but like further like promote his new brand and style of engaging with the fans, which is what media interaction is. And Rory's done nothing but the opposite. I'm kind of like, you know what? This feels a lot more deserved now that like Bryson's a fan favorite, and it feels like Rory's losing fans on a weekly basis, and it's just shocking, really. Like, I found myself like not like rooting for him today, which is like maybe one of the first times ever I felt that way. Like that was just the natural way I felt. No like ill will towards it. It was just kind of like, I don't really love the way he's approached this, and I'm not like excited to watch him this week. It's just
I feel myself like just kind of losing interest. It's not really even like rooting for or against. I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. It's a little bit of a cool man, sort of like, all right, man, have fun. I guess
What if he takes a break?
talk about something else. I don't know.
Retires.
I don't know. I think it's interesting, like moving on here, looking at the odds sheet a little bit. This is of course subject to change, and of course courtesy of our friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook. John Rahm, as mentioned up top, is our current favorite at plus 550. Scott Scheffler at plus 650. I bring that up because Rory is one shot behind him and is plus 4,000.
That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy.
Right? That's he is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 on the odds sheet there. Which is pretty wild. Cody has it pulled up here, but next up after Scotty, Brooks Koepka plus 1,200 along with JJ Respawn, Colin Morikawa plus 1,400, Bryson again who tied with Scotty at -3 is plus 1,600, and Sibu Kim, Ben Griffin, Sungjae, Jordan Spieth, Ludwig, Xander, Russell Henley, Victor, kind of your next favorites after that. But
I would be hammering Victor right now.
Ball striking the shit out of it. I don't know. Where did he finish at?
+1.
He is
+1.
+1.
Birdie 18.
I just don't know if I can trust him. He feels like 2 to 3 years ago, Spieth of like, yeah, you got these runs in you, and then it's just like it always comes back. Like I just don't know if I can trust him to sustain any kind of level of run.
I think that's.
I love him in the mix, though, man.
He's
I really
anything
like him
but inevitable.
playing,
like U.S.
playing
Open
golf.
winner is going to feel inevitable, and like Victor, you do not know what the fuck is coming next.
TC, how about with a +1 at
what's that?
T20? Mark Leishman.
Yeah, Leash. He putted his
stuff
butt
from
off.
Leash.
Yeah, great to see Leash back in the mix. I'm a little frustrated with Ludwig. Ludwig should have been a 68 or 69 today. He just did all the hard stuff right and just kind of squandered some shit coming down the stretch. The entire back nine was just, his back nine, front nine of the course was just.
Bogeyed 4 of the last 5. That's tough.
When do we have the Ludwig combo?
What is define that for me? Are you talking about just a little bit of squandering opportunities?
When are we gonna have a like? It's a big step back this year. I know he won the Genesis, but it's been a pretty serious step back. Like got the knee scope last year. He won since then. Like, but has taken a step back since then. It just looked like he was on a Rahm like trajectory, and it's not happening. And
I think he's underperforming. I think that's fair to say. Chipping hasn't been good. He's off the tee. He's been a little inconsistent. So I think some of it is just, I think the knee injury kind of facilitated some bad habits in his swing. He was talking to Swedish TV about that a couple weeks ago. He seems to be rounding into form, but if he's not, like, I could see Ludwig turn on the Jets into Portrush or like almost after major season and then playing really well in like the FedEx Cup playoffs and everybody's shitting on it. Like kind of one of those things. So the majors are what matters, right?
Solid. I would chalk it up as a full year sophomore slump. I'd be happy to have that conversation after heading into Augusta next year. I'll give him some rope with the knee stuff and the age. I think it might just be a squandered year. I think that's what I'm kind of prepared for.
I was already a Ludwig fan. I've run into him not once but twice so far this year on American flights. So he's
that
way
could be
up
part of the problem too.
My board.
That's actually really bad to hear.
He's flying like 38F on American, I'm pretty sure too. So.
Swedish. He's thrifty.
God, you might have just
actually sick
yourself.
though. I mean,
penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah.
He's like, this seat's fine back here. I don't care.
I think going back to the odds sheet for just a second, Solly, you're kind of making me really like Colin Morikawa at 14-1 there with only 10 people ahead of him and 3 rounds to go on a golf course that feels a little designed in a lab for him, that's intriguing. I think that might be worth a play for some folks.
This is a really good week.
Russ Henley.
And Russ Henley is, gosh, down at plus 3,000.
I think because he's clearly not scared and already whipped Collins' ass earlier this year.
I would
This
check
is a
out.
really
Titleist
good-
posted our video we shot with Russell Henley from back in December on their YouTube channel this past week. Just like I went back and rewatched that. I'm like, fuck, I'm such an idiot. I've already like forgot about all these tips this guy handed us directly, like literally handed to us.
Here are the answers to the test,
yes.
and I still get it wrong every time I play.
I've got this, man.
Feel you, man.
Cody, I don't know if you want to put your money where your mouth is. If you believe in this putting, Cam Young 45-1 right now as well. Just calling that out in case you're looking to put
Cody.
New addition on the house or something like that. But
Guys, I think the play for the US Open might be like wait till after day 1 or day 2 and then place your wagers.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like I may just start doing that.
might be where the value lives.
Yeah.
Any updated winner predictions? So I know we were heavy on Scotty. Neil, were you on Scotty as well this week?
I was
on Scotty and our one and done as well. I just want to point that out.
You were on Tommy, that's right. Anybody want to change their picks? Do you still believe in Scotty now 7 shots back? I don't know the answer to my own question there, but
I mean, I don't really think he's going to win, but it's just like low tide right now. It's like, man, everybody thinks like, man, how could the tide get this high? And then all of a sudden here it comes, it's water, baby. Watch out.
If the weather looks like, decent in the morning, not much going on, tranquil, smooth greens, I can see it. I'm not changing my pick off Scotty. If you ask me right now, who do I think has a better chance of winning, he or Rahm, I would say Rahm, but I'm not changing off the pick. I would regret that so badly if I did.
I think you're right. I think he goes out and shoots like 2 under 2 under or something the next couple days, or 1 under 2 under, and gets back around even par, and he's 3 back going into the final round or something. I think I'm gonna want to have that Scotty stock in my portfolio.
And it was self-inflicted today. Like it wasn't like there was an Oakmont problem with Scotty, in my opinion, from what I
didn't look like Pinehurst.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Sally,
you were riding for Bud Colley, potential Ryder Cup.
I just wanted to shout out. I mean, he just seems to be a very serious golfer at the moment. Like it's just enough different styles of enough different golf courses, pretty darn decent sustained success that like when he popped up today, I was kind of like, I picture you sticking around through the weekend, honestly, which I wouldn't have said 2 months ago. So I wanted to shout out. I mean, he's just played some very, very real golf, and like I would put him in as a serious contender for the Ryder Cup, which I would not have thought of maybe even a month ago.
Would you rather have him or Keegan?
Keegan's the captain of the team, so it's not really a call you need to make.
Physically impossible. Can't fight City Hall.
He's gonna get the Jersey Mike sub order together, dude. He's
the captain.
I don't know who can do that.
Yeah, College, you wanted Mike's way? I thought you said Mike's way.
Who's gonna outline the chalkboard for the ping pong in the team room? Still no.
Speaking of the boys club,
it's so good to play the Reddit commenter role for the Ryder Cup. It's so much easier. Like I need to just follow that
stick your neck
path.
out and put Rasmus.
Just say shit.
Peterson on the team.
Are you
what about Sam Burns?
No, hold on. Are you still picking Tommy? Is he still your pick to win?
I am. He's still my pick to win. I think I had Victor in there at one point.
The miracle at Oakmont.
Yeah.
The occasion at Oakmont.
Sorry,
you were saying
Sam Burns. I think Sam Burns should be right in the mix, and he just evacuated himself coming in.
Weird to watch.
He played his last 4 holes in 5 over par. He made 5 birdies in his first 14 holes today. Still T33 +2, but that was a weird one. Neil, I was expecting more from Corey Connors as well today.
I was too. I thought this was a good fit for him.
2 over. I mean, I don't think we had him to win.
I had him for a top 10 TC or top 20. I think.
Which, on that note, I want to shout out my Denny McCarthy top 20. I hope that doesn't bankrupt the fine people at FanDuel. I mean, that was just thousands of people tailing that one, I'm sure.
He's 1 shot inside the top 20 after 25% of the golf.
I know, but he's a real player. He's gonna stick around.
Captain of the little boys club.
And then I think solid. If
Neil's just
Jackson
gonna
Koiven
whip the little
keeps this
boys
up,
club in for
For
3
sure.
months.
Why
Little
not?
Boys Club's good. I'd stay by Little Boys Club. I'm in.
The LBC.
if Jackson Koiven
Squad.
plays well tomorrow and keeps rising, I think we got to put him on the team too. He'd be a
Sure.
great fit on the Little Boys Club.
Have we fit? God, why am I having such a?
Can't even keep track of the names you guys are throwing out to be on the team.
Yeah, exactly. No, top 10 player in the world who's not in any of the majors. Why am I like having the biggest brain fart ever?
Taylor Gooch,
No, come on, don't be glib.
American. What are you saying?
Yeah, remember we did the top 10 without a major right now.
Oh, Luke
Clanton?
Clanton.
Luke Clanton.
God, I know that was so outrageous. Oh my God.
It's not. He's a stud.
That I'm
He just
very
couldn't get his
proud
way
of.
in.
I'm very proud of my stance on that record.
No, I'm flagging that because when he does win a major, people be like, "Oh man, they had that all the way back in 25. That was crazy."
TC's
How ahead
going to
of
be
the curve
so
they were.
black mess. I'm not getting enough credit for putting Luke Clanton on the top 10
Exactly.
and not win a major in 2025. This will be 2030.
All right. Anything else we got? Anybody else got anything in the notebook we got to get out?
I was just going to ask you guys, like, if you could only answer it through the lens of if you could only watch one round tomorrow from one guy, what are you most excited to watch tomorrow? What are you most keen to find out tomorrow?
I mean, it's
I'm watching
kinda-
Rom.
Good answer. Jordan. I'm curious. You know, I'm curious because it could go really, really, really bad tomorrow.
Tomorrow does feel like a watch the featured groups type of day. I think you guys are totally right about that. I think there's probably going to be some good ones to watch.
I might be Brooks.
Yeah, there's some
honestly.
good options.
Yeah, or
All those
Scotty,
are.
yeah.
It's kind of a can't lose with any of those big guns. Jordan, God, you might be right, Neil. Jordan might be the answer. Is it gonna be for real or not? Or is it gonna blow up on the launch pad? We'll
It's
see.
gonna be a great week. I think this was a great start to the tournament.
I want to, in honor of Big Randy, I want to shout out Jose Luis Ballester for making 211 feet of putts. The next closest, I believe, was 122 feet because in a span of 3 holes, he made a 65 footer and an 85 footer, which is good stuff. So that's for the stat heads, the Big Randy heads out there. I know you guys love feet of putt made.
And
That's
we
a
reached
true
out
indicator
to Randy for comment on the setup and everything today. We did not hear back. And he will not be with us tomorrow as well. It is just a scheduling conflict more than he's not protesting. To our knowledge, he's not protesting the fact that 10 people broke par with no wind in the opening round. So
that's right. All right, guys. Anything else? Otherwise, Neil, what's up with these mystery boxes that we got going on?
Yeah, cleaned out the office. So I got some knickknacks, some good stuff that I'm going to ship to 2 lucky winners. 1 new subscriber to the NLU newsletter and 1 current subscriber. Deej, that's what we got cooking. Where's the link? Sorry, I got to find it in the notes. subscribe.nolayingup.com/giveaway. Sign up there basically anytime until Sunday, and you might be a lucky winner. And if you're already subscribed, you might be a lucky winner too. So I got a lot of good stuff in there. I already kind of selected the boxes. I need to just break them into 2. It's going to be good stuff.
Hey, by the way, guys, we got white smoke. We got a new PGA Tour CEO.
That's right.
First ever PGA Tour CEO, Brian Rolap from the NFL. He was at one point considered the heir apparent to Raj. By all accounts, really smart dude. And I imagine they're probably gonna wait till next week to make the announcement. They don't want to step on the USGA, but seems to be everywhere.
Adam Schefter had him as the new PGA commissioner, which was not accurate, but I believe he did correct the record on that one. But big difference. He's like, whoa, Jay lost his job?
Yeah. But yeah, it seemed like this one's been percolating for a few weeks now and finally the finish line.
Any early reaction to that news, or should we save that for another day?
I think it's truly a wait and see. Like, cool. Like, finally that we've got the Schefter's on his 2 phones, right? I think it's the guy. I think he got his hand slapped a little bit with the college football conference realignment playoff stuff. He was trying to create, kind of a super league at one point with some other guys, but as far as I know, pretty well regarded. And it just feels like finally a step in the direction of the future for the PGA Tour, instead of like, no, like we'll let you know when we have any news, and until you hear otherwise, Jay Monahan's the one in charge, or at least pretending to be the one in charge.
I'm still struggling just to understand like what's the difference between the CEO and the commissioner, and who
I think
does
the
what.
commissioner is going to be like a Jason Gore, like Brant. Like I've heard Brant Snedeker floated for that one, of like truly like player relations and fielding the actual tournaments, and then the CEO will be everything sponsor, commercial related.
Okay.
This call's about business. With the CEO.
I think view it as like, like 501c 6, is it?
Six,
yeah.
Like that's commissioner level versus like CEO is going to be enterprise level, from what I understand. But we'll see.
More to come on that, I'm sure.
Congrats to
Jeff-
AB though.
That's right. I'm sure it's a friendly inside the tower. Guys, good first day. I'm looking forward to. I think we're only going up from here as well, which I think is the most exciting thing about this tournament. I cannot wait to see how Oakmont changes over the next couple days, how the leaderboard takes shape, and we'll be right here after each round concludes, maybe before each round concludes, depending on the Peacock situation. But
Might need to wait for Cut Watch tomorrow is the only thing. But
that's true. Well, guys, good being with you. Cody, thank you for running the 1s and 2s. Shout out to Matt on all the social stuff, and shout out to everybody for watching. And we will be back tomorrow night for round 2. Cheers. Crack on.
Crack on.